and welcome to Real Talk with R.J. I'm R.J. and I hope you had a good start to your week. It's Monday, March the 7th, which I can't believe it's already 3 months into the new year. It's crazy when you stop and think about it. But today, as I discussed on my previous video that I did on yesterday, I think it was? Yes, yesterday, where I talked about Trump and the GOP and showed you some products that I like. Today's episode of Real Talk with RJ is going to be a little different. I'm going to first start off with showing you some products, but not only are these products that I like, one, I'm not getting paid to endorse anything. These are things that I use that have helped me. So let me first start with saying that back in November, well actually it was September of last year, I finally had enough money saved up because I don't buy health insurance, kind of as a, kiss my behind to the government for trying to force me to pay for it anyway. So I don't get health insurance, but what I do is I save up money in my own, like a personal savings account. I just set aside a little bit every month, and I use that. And actually self-pay, going to a doctor's office, self-pay is not that bad. And it's much less than having to pay for your deductible before you can actually get your copay rate. So it actually is saving me much more money not to have it, for now at least. So finally I had enough money saved up where I felt like I had enough to go see a doctor, get a physical. I hadn't had a physical in a while, and I wasn't feeling like bad or having pain or anything. I just kind of knew something wasn't right. My weight gain had went whoosh, where I've always been overweight, but I've never had this as much weight gain as I had. Like, it was getting out of control, and I wasn't sitting around eating a bunch of candy or junk or anything like that. I mean, it just got out of control real quick and real fast, and it was pretty scary to me, how quickly it happened. And so that was one issue. And then also I just kind of knew something wasn't right. I had not had my monthly cycle at that point in September of last year when I went. I hadn't had one in like 10 or 11 months. So clearly I knew something was not right, something I needed to get, see a doctor, get a physical. So I did. When I got the physical, my heart, I had an EKG, my heart was okay. I did some blood work requested by my doctor after that first initial September visit. I also had a little bit of swelling in my feet, or actually a lot of swelling in my feet and my ankles. And my day job is a sit-down office kind of a job, so I thought maybe that was it, because I wasn't getting a whole lot of movement and walking around to really get things circulating like they needed to. I thought that was it. That was part of it, but it wasn't the gist of it. And so my doctor wanted me, to really, she gave me like a diuretic to help get the water off. That helped a little bit, but my feet were still kind of swelling. And then when she requested that I do a comprehensive blood panel, I did the blood work, brought her the results, and my uric acid, which is supposed to be in normal people no higher than 7.0. I don't know how I couldn't tell you what unit of measure this is. I just know the numbers, and how high or how low it's supposed to be. So normally it's in between, I think 4.0 and 7.0 is the normal range. Anything higher than 7.0 is not good. It could potentially mean that you have gout, or it could be some kind of other issue. Mine was at a 10 point, I want to say 8. It was either 10.4 or 10.8, but it was definitely above 10, which is over 3 points higher than what it should have been. So that was pretty intense. And then another issue was my liver was not filtering the fatties in the liver. It wasn't getting rid of it properly or something, because my ALT, it's called, which is an indication of the fats in the liver, were way high. Like the highest in the normal range is like 29, I think. Mine were at like 39. So she was concerned about that. Also my fasting, because this was a fasting blood panel, my glucose levels, now this wasn't an A1C, this was just right then and there as I had that test that morning, what was my glucose level was like 132. When fasting, it's not supposed to be any higher than 100. So when I brought her those results, she's like, okay, we need to do an A1C. And I think this was back in the early part of October, early November, that I did the A1C, and that's to determine over the past 3 months. So it's a blood test that looks at 3 months of your glucose levels, kind of gives you an average, and if you're any higher than like 6.3, 6.2, 6.3, if you're at like 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, you're in the pre-diabetic stage. If you're any higher than like 6.3 and up, you're diabetic. Type 2 diabetes. So we did the A1C, and then when I went back to the doctor in November was when I learned that my A1C that I had done, I was at a 7.8, so that's definitely diabetic. And then of course I still was having issues with the swelling, the uric acid, and the fats in the liver. And so my doctor put me on, once we determined that I was diabetic, put me on Metformin. This is Metformin ER, the extended release. I take 4 of these with my biggest meal of the day, which is usually dinner, because I eat a pretty normal-sized breakfast, a very light lunch, because I'm in the office and I need energy. I don't want anything really heavy. I just usually eat a salad. And then for dinner, I usually have, like a chicken breast and a little bit of whole wheat pasta or whole wheat or wild rice and some broccoli, so I eat a little bit of a bigger meal with dinner, so that's when I take it. And as long as you eat it with food, it doesn't affect your stomach or anything. So this releases over 24 hours, so it helps your glucose levels to come down. But also, she told me, and she didn't give me any kind of diet plan, which I thought was weird. She didn't tell me what to eat or what not to eat, because she kind of gathered from me that I'm a pretty smart kind of a person. I research a lot and I do a lot of reading, and so she just said, you're gonna have to change how you eat. Now I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't eating like awful. I wasn't eating as healthy as I am now, that's for sure, but I wasn't eating like candy bars all day long, and like I would have a candy bar like every now and then, but I wasn't overdoing it with those types of foods. But I already kind of knew what I needed to do. So thus began my journey. So this basically shows you what products I've been using. Oh, and so I also, once she learned that I hadn't had a monthly cycle in like 10 or 11 months, she knew right away, and especially because of my rapid weight gain that I had, she knew I had PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It causes rapid weight gain, and it's pretty much impossible to lose it without some type of medication or supplement and some real hard work on your diet. But the good thing about the Metformin is that there's something in the Metformin, I can't remember what the doctor told me, but you can look it up. There's something in it that actually helps the PCOS. For some reason, it actually stimulates whatever the hormone is that we need to have those monthly cycles. It stimulates it. And so I started on Metformin like the second week in November, and by the end of November I had had my first period in 10 or 11 months. I mean, I don't mean to be graphic if there's any gentlemen listening to this, but PCOS is a huge problem. Your wife or your girlfriend may have this issue. If you see her weight kind of spike, or if she complains, she's not pregnant, and she complains of, irregularity in her menstrual cycle, tell her to get to her doctor, because it could very well, a lot of women have it and don't even know it. And the other thing about it is, if you're trying to have children, PCOS, you can have children with PCOS, but it makes it much more difficult. And they actually recommend that women with PCOS take Metformin, even if they're diabetic or not, to actually help stimulate that hormone and get things, headed in the right direction in that part of their body. So that was one thing that really helped, obviously, with, bringing a little bit lower number to the sugars, and also getting things moving in the hormone department so that I could, have regular cycles again. The other thing that PCOS does is it makes you feel very lethargic. It's just, you feel like you have no energy at all. It's just, ugh. So, even though the metformin has helped to get the cycles going again, it doesn't help give you any energy. So what I take, and there's another supplement I want to show you, this is vitamin B12. It is for energy, and it's for your metabolism, because that's something you need to stimulate if you're going to, really focus on losing weight as well. You need a good metabolism. And a lot of women, especially with PCOS, our metabolisms are like, so you got to do something to stimulate it and get it moving. So these are chewables, B12s, but you can get the gel caps or the hard vitamin, whatever you want to get, but don't just take a multivitamin. Those are good. I do take one multivitamin, like a one a day. I do take those. But the things that I need more of, like I need more energy, and I'm going to show you some other things, the things that I need more of, I buy them separate. So that way I know I'm getting more of it in my system. So B12, if you have PCOS, this is something you need to help you with your energy levels and your metabolism. Now, in regards also to the diabetes, if you're someone who has type 2 diabetes, and you're, obviously you want to take whatever medicine your doctor prescribes you. These supplements that I'm showing you, these natural supplements I'm showing you, in no wise do I mean for them to replace the medication that your doctor has prescribed to you. Please continue to take your doctor's medication that they've prescribed to you. I take my metformin religiously, okay? But I do also take supplements to help. Now there is one thing that really helps to lower, like if you test your blood, if you're diabetic, you test your blood and you're like, whoa, it's like way higher than what it should be. Cinnamon. I don't know what it is, but there's something about cinnamon that helps to regulate, helps to lower your blood glucose. Don't ask me why or how. This is just something that I read, okay? So you can either buy it in capsules and, take it just like you would a vitamin, or you can just, in the morning with your breakfast, throw some cinnamon on your food, or, so you don't have to necessarily get the capsules. I like to get the capsules because I don't sit pouring cinnamon on my food all day long, So I get the capsules. I take 4 of these a day. I take 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening to help regulate my blood sugar, in addition to taking what my doctor prescribed, the metformin. Also, for the issue with the swelling and circulation and stuff like that, I take vitamin E. Vitamin E is very heart healthy. It's great for your heart. It's great for your circulation. It helps to kind of open up your veins so the blood can flow properly. It helps your blood pressure. It's just an all-around great supplement to take if you're having any type of heart issues, circulatory issues. Vitamin E is the bomb.com. And then the last thing I want to show you as far as like supplements that I take, this was to help my liver to do what it's supposed to do with the fats and all the other stuff in the bile and all the other things that the liver filters. This is called Live Right Liver Aid, And it's all natural. It's just a combination of different minerals and vitamins that literally just, boom, it just makes the liver do what it's supposed to do. I take 4 of these a day, 2 with breakfast, 2 with lunch. And you could take up to 6 a day, but I just take 4 to make it last a little longer. Because I figured, hey, I'm on this strict diet, I'm going to be losing weight. As I lose weight, the fats in the liver should also reduce as a result of the weight loss. But I want to still, just by precaution, take this as well to help. So, Live Right, Liver Aid, you can find this at Walgreens. You can find any of these at Walgreens, really, or wherever you go to get your medications or your vitamins, GNC, you can find all this there. Okay, so those are all my supplements that I use. In addition to what I had shown you yesterday, the beet powder that I do, I also do that. That helps to regulate sugar. It helps to improve circulation. What else did I show you? Oh, I showed you my Patriot Supply food pantry, which that I don't take to help with any of this, but it's good to have in case of emergency. Okay, now, on my most recent checkup, I did another blood panel. I did an A1C test. On my A1C, I went from a 7.8 to a 5.8. 5.8 is the non-diabetic. You're not even pre-diabetic at 5.8. You are non-diabetic range. I lowered it in 3 months. So from like the second week of November all the way to the end of February. Roughly 3 months. Went from a 7.8 A1C percentage to a 5.8. On my livers, I went from a 39 to a 19. My uric acid reduced from I think I had like a 10.8 or a 10.4 all the way down to 7.1. So it's still 0.1 higher because 7.0 is the max. So still need to continue to work on that, and that I have combated with drinking a buttload of water. I have this big 2-liter bottle with the handle, and I just fill that up with water at work and just suck it down. And whenever I feel like I gotta pee, I do not hold it in, I go. Because water in, water out, you're flushing your system, you're getting all that uric acid, you're getting all the impurities out of your body. So I think over the next 3 months as I continue to do that, that number should be down in the normal range, but it's only 0.1 above where it should be. And look at how high it was before. My blood glucose levels when I took the comprehensive panel this past time were at 85. 60 to 100 is normal fasting blood range. I was at an 85. And on top of all that, okay, so the uric acid improved, the fats in the liver improved, my A1C improved, my glucose improved. I started having periods again, so that means the PCOS is starting to be helped by the Metformin and also by the weight loss and the diet as well. It all combines to help. So with all that together, I've lost 61 pounds in 3 months. Now, how did I do it? I drastically changed what I eat and how much I eat, especially monitoring how much I intake of sugar and carbohydrates. And I only eat complex carbohydrates. I do not eat white bread, white rice, white pasta. No. Everything has to be whole grain, whole wheat, wild rice or brown rice. Like, I eat no regular carbs, all complex carbohydrates. And I eat 3 meals a day, but also eat snacks in between each meal. My snack is half of a Granny Smith apple and a Nature Valley protein bar. That's what I eat in between my meals. Granny Smith apples help to regulate blood sugar. And you ever heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? It's true. It helps support your immune system and everything. It's awesome. So I eat half of a Granny Smith apple and a protein bar for snacks. For breakfast, I eat a breakfast sandwich that is made with whole grain flat bread and it has like egg and a meat and a cheese. And then I drink a low sodium V8 tomato-based V8 veggie juice drink, and you read the ingredients. It's water and then it's all the vegetable juices and nothing else. because I make sure I have a serving of vegetables with every single meal. Then my lunch is very light. I usually have like a raw leafy green spinach kind of a salad with like a little bit of chicken breast, or sometimes no meat at all, sometimes just nuts and maybe some dried cranberries, a very low fat, low sugar dressing on it. I get these that are pre-made, so it's already portioned out for me, which helps, so that way I don't overdo it. And then for dinner is when I bring back a carbohydrate. I usually have one serving. So you got to look at your box, look at what, the box that the complex carbohydrate comes in, and see how much a serving size is, and make sure you're not overdoing it. And I'll have whole wheat pasta and organic pasta sauce and sliced chicken, or I'll do turkey meatballs, or just sometimes I'll just make a chicken breast, a little bit of wild rice, measure that out, and then a bunch of broccoli or spinach or anything. When you're trying to lose weight and when you're diabetic, anything that is green that's a vegetable is your friend. Green beans, broccoli, lettuce, spinach, asparagus, any vegetable that is green is like the best thing that you can eat, and you don't have to measure it. You don't have to say, okay, 1 cup. You can eat as much of that as you want, because normally those very green vegetables are so low in calories, don't have any carbs, like they're just, you can eat as much of that as you want. So if you're still hungry because you had to measure out your carbs, go get some more, make yourself some more vegetables, as long as they are green vegetables, okay? Gosh, I'm running out of time. I didn't get to talk to you about specifically, I kind of gave specifics about what I eat. But if you check out my blog, and I'm going to put a link, or at least the web address, to my blog in the description part below. Okay, so check on that. Please subscribe to my videos, and especially if you know someone who's struggling with getting their weight under control, or a female who's struggling with PCOS, or anyone who has type 2 diabetes, please tell them to subscribe, because I'm really going to try to motivate people and give the information that I've learned that's in just 3 months, y'all. Complete 180, complete turnaround. And it can be done. You just have to have the right mindset, the right tools, a lot of discipline, but you can do it. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video, and I'll get more into specifics about how you get your mind in the right place, and how you fight the temptations that come your way, and how to stick to it. Okay, so until next time, take care of yourself, and be kind and respectful to everyone, and tune in next time for Real Talk with RJ. God bless you.